Good morning, everyone. It's another cold morning, but not as cold as it was. Yesterday, I even opened up the door to the outside. It was sunny. It was 40 something degrees outside, warmer outside than in the house. And oh, it was wonderful. I know, winter time. Who the heck opens their door at 40 some degrees outside when it's 40 some degrees outside? I do. It's just one of those things. Well, anyway, so I've talked about this before, and it seems like as our heart to mind grows closer to God, we just start to understand certain things. Okay, how do I say better, or the excuses start to fall away, right, on why we should be allowed to do certain things, feel the way we do, blah, 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 whatever, okay? Because when you grow, when your heart to mind, your conscience, and all that, and your original mind starts to really want to push forward itself because you have this vertical connection to God, you start to be honest with yourself. You just are, and you're going to have to go, okay, there's a whole lot of stuff going on, even within me, around me, that I'm the one who's got to make the change. I'm the one who's got to realize what the truth actually is. And one thing about that is forgiveness. We can choose in many different areas, whatever we want to do, right or wrong, whatever. The consequences often aren't there. This, and that. That's just how it is. And again, but there's one thing about forgiveness: we have no choice. If you are on the side of goodness, if you're a Christian, if you believe in God and the creation and why human beings are different from, for example, the animal, the plant world, the rest of everything, then we have to forgive. It doesn't matter if we feel right in our self-righteousness of, but I don't have to. I don't have to like that or love that person. They're my enemies. They're doing me wrong. The thing is, it doesn't matter. If you really want to be a testament, a testimony, a witness to God, you have to forgive. And you have to forgive the worst things. If you like it or not, you have to do that. You have to lay down your arms and make them into plowshares. You just have to. And take your chances of being plowed down with weapons, bombed to bits and pieces. But you don't get to raise your hand against another human being. You just don't. And you have to forgive. It doesn't matter how bad things were within your family, with your family members, what they done to you, this or that. You have to forgive. You have to. You have no choice. Not if you say you believe in God. You're a part of God's creation and want to have that vertical connection. Believe in the afterlife. You have to forgive. If you like it or not, you have to. And you'll have to take whatever happened before, this or that. That restoration path isn't yours. It's the person that's being forgiven. Do you understand? Okay. I needed to say that. Yes? Yeah. Okay. So does that mean now that then if we forgive, we say, okay, well, it is as it is. Prodigal son comes to mind, right? Yes? Where what? The older son told the dad, so you're just going to take him back, just like that. This and that. Father says, I'm just happy he's back. He's back where he belongs. He's back where he can be taught again. Reflect on his actions. Will the younger son reflect on his actions? Has he learned his lessons? Or goes, I'm back and they took me back and I am living the rich life again? That's not our problem. That's the younger son's problem. The older son has to forgive because that's the right thing to do. Now, again, does forgiving mean that then we let people come back into our life and continue to abuse us? No. What I'm saying here is that we have to find it in our heart to know that past discretions do not dictate the future. Because then, if we can't forgive, if we can't say, look, doesn't matter what you've done, this or that, doesn't. As long as you come back, you try, or rather even, no, even if the person doesn't come back, even if the whatever has happened isn't righting itself, you've got to move forward with what? A peaceful heart to mind, where you know that you will be ready when it is necessary to be there to teach the lost sheep, the lambs, when they come back, when they are back, when they have been found and returned. Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to say this morning. All right. We are in Kings, second book of Kings, 11. From the reign of Athaliah to the death of Elisha. Oh, Elisha. Elijah's disciple. Or Elisha and Elijah could be the same. Okay, all right. Athaliah, 841 to 835. They did not reign. None of them really. A couple of them reigned a little longer, but gosh, it's just like, seems to me, okay, it's going to sound funny, but it seems to me that the Israelites in the Old Testament changed their kings like some changed their underwear, okay, every day. Okay, all right, that's not every day, I get that, but kind of the... Yeah, you wear your underwear for too long, starts to stink really bad. Doesn't matter how clean you are, right? Yes, okay, yeah. They're handy, okay, all right, Daniela, where are you going with this? That just came to my mind. All right. When Athaliah, mother of Ahaziah, Athaliah, that's a woman. When Athaliah, mother of Ahaziah, learned that her son was dead, she promptly murdered all those of royal stock. Okay. All right, if I remember this later on, I will talk about royalty, okay? But Yehosheba, daughter of King Jehoram and sister of Ahaziah, surreptitiously rescued Jehoash, son of Ahaziah, from among the princes who were to be murdered and put him with his nurse in the sleeping quarters. Wait a second. Why would Athaliah, mother of Ahaziah, kill everyone within her own family? What did I talk about beforehand? In this way, she hid him from Athaliah, and he was not killed. He stayed hidden with her in the temple of Yahweh for 6 years, while Athaliah governed the country. Wow, that's interesting. There's a woman that took over. She killed everyone. Where did her power come from? Surely she didn't kill them herself. She had someone do it for her. How the heck? What? In the 7th year, Jehoiada sent for the regiment commanders of the Carians and the guards. Who the heck are the Carians? And had them brought to him in the temple of Yahweh. He made a pact with them, put them on oath, then showed them the king's son. He gave them this order. This is what you must do. A third of you who come on duty on the Sabbath must mount guard at the royal palace, and your 2 other sections who come off duty on the Sabbath and mount guard at the temple of Yahweh must surround the king. Which king? I thought it was a queen now. Oh, the boy. They're talking about the boy. Each man with his weapons in his hand. Anyone forcing his way through the ranks is to be killed, and you will escort the king as he leaves and as he comes in. The regiment commanders did everything as Jehoiada, the priest, had ordered. And each one brought his men, those coming on duty on the Sabbath and those going off duty on the Sabbath, and reported to Jehoiada the priest. The priest then issued the regimental commanders with King David's spears and shields, which were kept in the temple of Yahweh. The guards then took position, each man with his weapons in his hand, from the south corner of the temple to the north corner of the temple, all around the altar and the temple. Then Jehoiada brought the king's son out, crowned him, and gave him a copy of the covenant. And they made him king and anointed him, and they clapped their hands and shouted, "Long live the king." Let me go see. Yehoash. So Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, was willing to kill her own grandchildren. Wow. On hearing the people shouting, Athaliah joined the people in the temple of Yahweh. When she looked, there stood the king on a dais, as the custom was, with the officers and trumpeters at the king's side, and all the people of the country rejoicing and blowing the trumpets. Then Athaliah tore her clothes and shouted, "Treason! Treason!" Jehoiada, the priest, then gave the orders to the commanders in charge of the troops. "Take her out under guard and put to death anyone who follows her." For the priest had already said she must not be killed inside the temple of Yahweh. They seized her, and when she reached the horses' entry to the palace, she was killed there. All right. What the heck story is this now? So here's this woman, after her son gets killed, she takes over the queenship. Okay, all right, the kingship, the queen. She becomes the queen, and she kills everyone. Doesn't say really why. Oh, she was so distraught over the death of her son that she kills her own grandsons. Okay, or all of them. Okay, whatever. And then, after the boy's old enough that he's being saved by Ahaziah's sister, they crown him, and she comes, what, without any kind of protection? Just shows up, goes, Well, then how the heck did she reign at all? Okay, how does this make any sense? If you put this in perspective on how that actually all went down, how does this make any kind of sense? It's a bunch of nonsense. And also here, what is God's temple, Yahweh's temple, being used for? A sanctuary. Oh. But in what way? It's just a safe house. It's not a temple anymore. Now it's a safe house. Okay, all right. Oh, what's the difference? A big difference. All right. Jehoiada made a covenant between Yahweh, the king, and the people, that they would remain Yahweh's people, and another one between the king and the people. All right, so it sounded like it was going in. Okay, all this slaughtering again, all this killing. Oh, what's missing here? Forgiveness. I'm going to forgive you. Going to give you another chance. We're going to give you another chance. But you don't ever raise your hand against another human being. You don't do that. That's a commandment. Thou shalt not kill. Done. Don't tell me how that's meant. I know how it's meant. And here now is a covenant, two different covenants. One between Yahweh, the king, and the people, and one between the king and the people. Which one do you think is going to be greater again? All the people of the country then went to the temple of Baal, and demolished it. Oh, finally. They smashed its altars. Well, they've already done that, I thought. And its images, and killed Matan, the priest of Baal, in front of the altars. Wait a minute. Was that not already all done? Didn't Yehu already do all that? Oh, we remember he kept the golden calves. Levi again. The priest made arrangements for the security of the temple of Yahweh. He then took the regimental commanders, the Carians, the guards, and all the people of the country, and they escorted the king down from the temple of Yahweh, entering the palace through the gate of the guards. Jehoash took his seat on the throne of the kings. All the people of the country were delighted. The city, however, made no move, and Athaliah was put to death inside the palace. I thought she was already two different accounts on how she was put down. Okay. I said, it's again, things are written down as the people decided. Men decided to write it down. Done. Royalty. I even as a child, when they would talk about kings and queens and princesses and princes and all that jazz, to me that was just all dress up. Put on some pretty clothes and a crown, right? Yes, okay. But it never felt real to me. Like that was something that was needed, something that I needed, something that was a part of God's world. Royalty, kings and queens, as I said, princes and prince. To me, they're just leeches. They've always been leeches. They always will be. There's nothing I find that they're good at. That's just, okay, that's been my experience. Coming from a country, Switzerland, where we were under, where my ancestors were under feudal lords for a long time. Even had to, they would put up sticks with a hat, a feudal lord's hat on it, and when people walked by, they had to bow to that. And Swiss people, very proud people, had to do that. Well, they didn't take it for a very long time, and they started fighting back. Okay, then should you? Okay, no. So I think that when you grow up with ancestry, yes, well, that's who they are to us, descendants, and you know your country's history, and there is this yoke that was for no other reason except for, okay, so they were what? Royalty or richer people or whatever, right? Was put upon the common people to make sure they paid their taxes and all that. For what? Not sure, right? No, well, to keep the rich people rich and then whatever. Okay. and take it from the poor people. Why? Because rich people are too freaking lazy to work or something? All right. Just say. And so I've never understood how people are so enthralled with royalty, people being royalty. I'm going to say that's not something to be proud of. You're royalty, you're considered royalty, or you think you come from blue blood or something. That's a stain in your ancestry. That's not a good thing. Be proud to be a commoner. That's just saying. God did you a favor when you were born into poor circumstances. You don't think so? Well, I do. From what I understand on how things go with, I said, being born into royalty. Blue blood, they call it. It's like, what the heck is that? That doesn't even exist. Aha, right there. Blue blood doesn't exist. Royalty doesn't either. People being duped into this. What do you need them for? You can't survive on your own? Well, what have you done all your life? Huh? Well, anyway, we think that, well, certain things exist in a system where there are people in a community, in a nation that keeps everything going. Okay, why don't you go and check out why your lights are still on, why you do have the internet, why your water is flowing, why you are eating. And you'll find that has nothing to do with government, for example, or royalty. It's all the work of the common people. I have no idea who that is. It says wireless caller. It's probably, so we're going to turn it on, turn it off, done. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not even interested. Come here, kid. There. Same one. Oh, I could have. Nah. I have no idea who that is. I know all the important numbers. I know them all. Again. There. All right. Well, that's it. That's all I have to say today. To go back to the whole thing one more time. What are we reading in Kings? Both of the books. It's just awful. The amount of lives taken for a position, king, royalty, is unbelievable and absolutely not part of God's will. To start with, yes? Then there's the part of forgiveness, yes? Yeah. Which seems to me, when it comes to our own common life, right? We're much greater. We're much greater as a whole, as a people. Yes? On common ground. Yes? Than the few that seem to be what? Running the show? The thing is that disunity among us, yeah, certain expectations among us, that we're not willing to either give up or keep making the excuses for, right? Keep us from uniting. Keep us from uniting and moving forward, and then just look at royalty and go, ah, okay, I'm not sure where you're going to take that, but I hope you know how to clean your own palace, because that's what you're going to have to start doing. Sorry. Right? Yes? Okay. That's all I have to share this morning. God's blessings. God bless you and protect you. And I will talk to y'all another time.